Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Don't Tell Mama. As a courtesy to our performers, we ask that there be no picture taking, no texting. Please turn off all your cell phones and keep the aisles clear for performers. Thank you so much, and enjoy the show. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Elizabeth Owens Skidmore.
Artistic soul. And what have I been thinking about, you may ask? Well, I have been thinking about being a princess. Because I just turned 23, so I guess that means I'm an adult now. It means that I pay my own cell phone bill, and I've been thinking about who I am and where I came from and how I got here and where am I going and how to adult things. And the answer for me always comes back to princesses. Because as a child of the 90s, and I'm sure I speak for my generation who's in here, Disney practically raised us. We spent our movie nights and our weekends and our sleepovers watching these incredible movies with these amazing characters like Belle and Cinderella and Mulan, who are some of my favorites, win their battles and be these amazing characters in these movies with soundtracks that were just so incredible, and I bet all of us still know all the words to all of those songs. So, thinking about princesses, and I'm wondering if you guys could help me out and shout out a few words that pop to mind when you first hear the word princess. They don't have to be nice, just shout them out.
Courageous. Bratty.
Yes, keep them coming.
Hot.
Yes? Awesome. Okay, good. So, do we think of a princess first who is someone who is strong and kind and courageous and brave, or do we jump to a second kind of princess princess who is spoiled and bratty and catty and, for lack of a better word, a basic bitch. I'm pretty sure we jumped to the second one. But I think there's a third type of princess, and that's the princess that I want to talk about tonight. And now this was a girl who grew up watching these movies and wanted to be those characters because she saw herself in them on screen. And this is someone who's as brave and strong as she wants to be idealistic, but that's what she wants because she saw both of those things on screen. And now I'm going to refer to this princess as a girl because I am a girl and I can only speak from my heart. However, take it as you will. Gerard, I know you're a princess in your soul. Yes. So, what about that girl? Why does her individual type of strength keep getting pushed aside and she keeps getting called naive and idealistic? What is it like to be her? Well, let me tell you what you're probably already thinking. That girl is me. When the sky is a bright canary yellow, I forget every cloud I've ever seen. So they call me a cockeyed optimist, immature and incurably green. I have heard people rant and rave and bellow that we're done and we might as well be dead. But I'm only a cockeyed optimist, and I can't get it into my head. I hear the human race is falling on its face and hasn't very far to go. But every whippoorwill is selling me a bill and telling me it just ain't so. I could say life is just a bowl of jello and appear more intelligent and smart. But I'm stuck like a dope with a thing called hope, and I can't get it out of my heart. Not this At my core, that cockeyed optimist is who I am. I don't know how to be anything else, and I don't want to be anything else, but that doesn't mean that things are peachy every day. And as I just said, I turned 23 this year, and that means maybe I'm still a spring chicken to some of you guys out there. But let's remember that I moved to New York by myself 5 years ago when I was 17, and it has been a long 5 years. And it has been a really, really hard 5 years. And honestly, things are not looking as rosy as they looked 5 years ago. I have rent and bills and all these choices on the table, and they're going to affect my entire life. So to get really real, this princess is having a bit of a quarter-life crisis. Cinderella's on her bedroom floor. She's got a crush on the guy at the liquor store. Because Mr. Charming don't come home anymore, and she forgets why she came here. Sleeping Beauty's in a foul mood for shame. She says, none for you, dear prince. I'm tired today. I'd rather sleep my whole life away than have you keep me from dreaming. Cinderella danced at the ball, and Mulan scaled that training post, and Belle read to the Beast in the greatest library she had ever seen. Maybe she can help me find a way to get to the other side of this crisis. When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Any dream your heart desires will come to you. If your heart is in your dreams, no request is around, especially doing ballet. She was obsessed with dressing up like a princess, and she was obsessed with being the center of attention wherever possible. Somehow that reminds me of right now. But all that I'm missing is my princess dress. Stagehand, please bring me my princess dress. Yeah, my extraordinary grandmother, Rose Owens, made this for me. Zach, don't upstage me. My extraordinary grandmother, Rose Owens, made this dress for me for kindergarten Halloween when I was 4 years old. And she made me this, and she also made me the peasant dress with the blue outfit and the apron and the beautiful, huge velvet cape with the trim. And I was so excited when I pulled this out of the box. And then I was furious because my mother told me that I had to wear my parka over top of this to go trick-or-treating. Now, looking back, that was a very good idea because let's remember that I grew up in the frozen prairies of Canada, and it was, I remember there was a lot of snow, and it was probably about -30 outside, which is normal for Halloween there. You just live through it. Yeah, this is my beautiful costume. And I suppose it doesn't really fit me anymore. Maybe none of these princesses really fit me the way they used to. Now that I'm a grown-up and my world has changed so much, where does a modern princess fit? When I first got here in 2009, I had my Broadway blinders on, and I thought I was going to live in New York forever. But suddenly 5 years have passed, and I live in Toronto, and it's not that my Broadway dreams are gone, but they've changed so much more than I thought they would. And I'm finding so much joy in my life as I pursue other passions and other facets of being a performer, and I guess you could say there's been a change in me, a kind of moving on, though what I used to be, I still depend upon. For now I realize that good can come from bad. into words what this change has been. And I think what I've settled on is that I'm done waiting. I am done holding the wings. I am done waiting for things to happen to me. 6 months ago, when I decided to move from New York to Toronto, and I was sitting in the car on the way to the airport, I made a promise to myself, a conscious decision, that this next year, to the next May, would be my year of risk. It would be a year of saying yes to everything. Now, not getting crazy with morals over here, but I'm saying yes to all sorts of stuff that I would never say yes to, and my life has changed immeasurably in the past 6 months. And I would never go back to the way I was before. I've never talked back. I've never slept late. I've never sat down when told to stand straight. I've never let go and gone with the flow and don't even know really why. I've never asked questions or taken a dare. I've never worn clothes that might make people stare. I've never rebelled or stood up and yelled or even just held my head high. And all of the feelings unspoken, all of the truths unsaid, they're all I have left of the life I never led. I've never gone surfing or ran with a crowd or danced on a table or laughed much too loud. I've never quite dared to leave myself bared. I've just been too scared I might fall. I've never seen Paris swim naked, been kissed. I've never quite realized just how much I've missed. And what did I get for hedging each bet? Another regret, and that's all. And all of the wishes unasked for, all of the needs unfed, they're all that remain of the life I never led. And now that you've given me one little taste of it, and now that I know what I well, how can I go on ignoring the waste of it? After all the years I've clung to my fears, when you help me let go, help me let go. I want to be brave. I want to be strong. I want to believe I'm where I belong. To stand up and say, I'm seizing the day. To not just obey, but to choose. And I may not surf, I may not see France, but I have to know I still have the chance. And maybe I'll make a painful mistake. It's my go to take or refuse. And all of the doors yet to open, all of the rooms ahead, they're beckoning, polite, scary and new. But I'm standing tall and I'm walking through. What's gone may be gone, but I won't go on playing dead. It's time to start living the life I never led. Now that I'm living this whole new life, I think I should let my princesses live a little too. And sometimes I just think that they really wanted to serve up a giant platter of revenge and they just weren't allowed to. And that's probably because that isn't a good quality to be instilling in children. However, we are all adults here. So, I would like to take this opportunity to monologue a little bit about what I think my princesses possibly were doing. So, for this I'm going to need a little backup. So, Zachary, would you please come up here? Woo! So, those of you who know Zach, he needs no explanation. For those of you who do not know Zach, he has been my best friend since day one at NYU, when we both moved into Rubin Hall on 5th Avenue, 6th floor, 9th floor. And I think it's pretty safe to say we would not have gotten through that year without each other.
Good point.
La 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 la. You were the popular one, the popular chick. It is what it is, now a popular bitch.
Meet me on the field with your pretty pom-poms. Now you're working at the movie selling popular corn. I could have been a mess, but I never went wrong. Now I'm putting down my story in a popular song.
Putting down the story in a popular song.
Okay.
My problem, I never was a model. I never was a scholar. But you were always popular. You were singing all the songs I don't know. Now you're in the front row. 'Cause my song is popular.
Popular.
I know about popular. It's not about who you are, your fancy car. You're only ever who you were.
Popular.
I know about popular. And all that you have to do is be true to you. It's all you ever need to know. So catch up, 'cause you got an awful long way to go. So catch up, 'cause you got an awful long way to go. Always on the lookout for someone to hate.
Picking on me like a dinner plate.
You hate your classes and in between them.
Dump me in the toilet, now it's you that cleans. I'm trying to make me feel bad with the things you do. It ain't so funny when the joke's on you.
Joke's on you. Got everyone laughing.
Got everyone clapping, asking, how come you look so cool?
'Cause that's the only thing that I learned at school, boy.
Uh-huh. That's the only thing that I learned at school. My problem, I never was a model. I never was a scholar. But you were always popular. You were singing all the songs I don't know. Now you're in the front row. 'Cause my song is popular. Popular.
I know about popular. It's not about who you are, your fancy car. You're only ever who you were.
Popular.
I know about popular. And all that you have to do is be true to you. That's all you ever need to know. So catch up, 'cause you got an awful long way to go. So catch up, 'cause you got an awful long way to go. So catch up, 'cause you got an awful long way to go. So catch up, 'cause you got an awful long way to go. Is it okay?
You look great, you look fine, your voice is awesome. Okay.
Thanks. What do I do without him? Yeah, he's in Tamberlane at Theater for New Audience in Brooklyn. You should go. It's awesome. It's placed till January 4th. Now that we've got that out of the way, where does a modern princess go from here? There has been a revolution in the past year, you guys. We have lived through the year of Frozen. We finally have Anna and Elsa. Now, if you've been living under a rock for the past year and you have still not seen Frozen, please plug your ears because I refuse to ruin the end of Frozen for you. Are they plugged? Yes? Okay, well, turns out the prince in Frozen is the bad guy. And we find out that true love takes many forms and it can be your sister to rescue you. It doesn't have to be a white knight on a white horse going in and rescuing you. Woo! All right, okay, you can unplug that. So, for those of you that plugged your ears, to catch you up, we've been talking about love. Love is what I've realized is the key. That's what a princess dreams for, longs for, fights for, and reconciles with. And sure, yes, maybe in some of these movies some unrealistic expectations about love are set, but I'm finding out that everything is more complicated as we grow older. Nothing that was taught to me as a child is as simple as it was when it was first taught to me. So love, though, is universal. It manifests differently in all of us, but it's still universal. We all understand what that feels like. And that's why we identify with these princesses, because we know what they're going through. We may not have been put to sleep by a witch, but we know what it's like to be scared of someone who's more powerful than us. We may not have been locked up in a castle like Belle, but we know what was in her heart when she made that sacrifice for her father. And we may not have found our one true love, but we certainly know what it feels like to fall for somebody. The dream. We have to start somewhere. Someday my prince will come. Someday I'll find my love, and how thrilling that moment will be when the prince of my dreams comes to me. right. We've been on a coffee date, and honestly, I think our children are going to be adorable. I've decided to marry you. I've decided to marry you. I've decided to you. I'm drawn, so life goes on for me. I have thoroughly thought it through, and the man that I want is you. Though it's true there are quite a few who strongly disagree. Nonetheless, I will marry you. I confess that I'm frightened too, and unless I am wrong, you long for love as much as I. You're quite original, I admit, but why should that matter a whit? And if you do not say yes at once, I think I'll die. We've been texting nonstop, and the dates keep getting better and better and better, and honestly, I don't want to hang out with anybody else ever again. The moon. First time I heard your voice, moonlight burst into the room, and I saw your eyes, and I saw your smile, and the world opened wide, and the world was inside of me. And I catch my breath, and I laugh and blush, and I hear guitars. You are so good for me. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Oh, the moon. Oh, the snow in the moonlight, and your childlike eyes, and your distant smile. I'll never be this happy again. You and I, you and I, you and I. And no one
Elizabeth,
Mm-hmm.
texted me back.
Guys, he texted me back and he texted me the cat emoji with the heart eye. No doubts, no more fears. I see you shine and the dark disappears. And I know everything is gonna be fine because you're mine. And at last I see the light. It's like the sky is new, and it's warm and real and bright. And my world has somehow shifted. All at once, everything seems different. Now that I see you. Guys, keep refreshing those feeds because there's gonna be a relationship status change soon. I'm having a vision. I suddenly see it. The magnitude of two people in love. How could I have missed it? It had to have been there, but I needed you to show me. We have so much power that's locked inside us. Every time I touch you, it flows. The energy of, capacity of, the infinite sweep of two people in love. In love. Our scale is enormous, our size is gigantic. There's nothing our minds cannot contain. No walls can enclose us, our lives have no boundaries. If we can unleash what's in us, that's why it's alright that we fuse together. We know what the universe knows. In two separate lives are fused into one. The energy free surpasses the sun, and we fill the universe. We are two people, two people, two people, two people in love. Two people in love. I'm gonna put this back on. All right. So, love. Right? Where do I go from here? I'm 23. I have a whole life ahead, though some days it really doesn't seem that way. There's infinite possibilities, and yes, there are hard times ahead, but I know that I'm surrounded by love, and I know that my childhood heroes will always be there for me. Every single time I press play on my DVD player. And even though I have no idea where I'm heading, I know that when times get rough, I can look back, think WWAPD, and conjure my inner child. What would Belle do if she was here right now? What would little Elizabeth do if she was here right now? Well, I think they would first address the situation and do it probably in song, because it's probably better in song. And then they would make a plan and carry it out with strength, humility, and grace. They would forge their own path forward. They would not be afraid to ask for help if they needed it. And most importantly, they would chase every single dream with an open heart and an open mind. When the cold wind is a-calling and the sky is clear and bright, misty mountains call and beckon, lead me out into the light. I will ride, I will fly, chase the wind and touch the sky. I will fly, chase the wind and touch the sky. Thank you so much to Don't Tell Mama for having us here this evening. much to Ben Caplan and Thank you so much to Nicholas Bird for all the arrangements and musical direction. Thank you so much to Zach and Infante for his direction. It's so wonderful. And thank you to all of you for coming here tonight. I can't tell you how excited I am. And touch the sky. Chase the wind, chase the wind. Touch the Oh my gosh, you guys, I had no idea. Just kidding. I learned nothing from my own show. A princess is always prepared with an encore. Now, before I start, feel free to sing along. This is how you probably know the words. It's from like the greatest album ever released. You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. The people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will. They're beautiful as you feel. Waiting at the station with the workday wind blowing. I've got nothing to do but watch the passers-by. Mirrored in their faces, I see frustration growing, and they don't see it showing. Why do I? You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. The people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful as you feel. I have often asked myself the reason for the sadness in a world where tears are just a lullaby. If there's any answer, I know love can change the madness, maybe not, but we can only try. You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. The people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful as you feel. As you
Ladies and gentlemen, Elizabeth Owens Skidmore.